go ahead.
Entire arrest of Ravi Rana and his wife Navneet Rana is absolutely not only illegal but unconstitutional for two reasons. Number one, the police have not issued the notice to them under 41 capital A, which makes the entire arrest unconstitutional. Anyone and everyone who is responsible for having orchestrated this police action should take it. I am giving them 48 hours notice, withdraw this particular system of arrest and this arrest which has been effected, failing which I am moving the High Court or the Supreme Court for contempt against one and all. Secondly, the law is now absolutely clear. You need a sanction before you arrest a public servant. No sanction has been taken either for the arrest of Ravi Rana, and no sanction or permission has been taken either for the arrest of Mrs. Rana, who happens to be an MP. This is not going to be taken lying down. Although they have been charged with bailable offences, both of them have decided we are not going to take bail. We will remain in custody, and we are going to insist that the government of Maharashtra, which has taken this particular step of illegal arrest, should withdraw this particular arrest immediately. Failing which, one and all in the government of Maharashtra will have to face necessary action under the Contempt of Courts Act. This is something which is unbelievable. Yeah. You issue a notice under 149 to both of them on the 22nd. They comply with your notice on the 22nd. They don't step out of the house, and you are charging them with 153 capital A. Where do you get this? You don't even have material for that. Unnecessarily, because of the action which has been contemplated by the government of Maharashtra, the police officers sitting in Khar police station will become accountable for non-compliance of 41A. You can't take law in your hands. It's not going to be allowed.
Sir, but if I heard you correctly, you're saying you're not going to apply for bail. You said you're not going to apply for bail and you're going to...
Husband and wife have decided, though we have been charged with bailable offence, they are not going to avail of bail. They are not going to apply for bail. They will remain in custody by way of protest. By way of protest of the fact that this arrest is illegal, unconstitutional. You withdraw this arrest. You have to withdraw this arrest. There is no other choice. Or else face contempt action under with provisions of Contempt of Courts Act, either before the Bombay High Court or before the Supreme Court.
What are the different violations, Mr. Merchant? You just mentioned that the sanction in this particular case, because both of them are representatives, was not taken. Is that one of the violations?
That is one of the breach. 197 of the section 197 of the RPC requires the grant of sanction before you arrest a person. Earlier, the law was 197 sanction is wanted for prosecution. Now the law is 197 sanction is wanted before you arrest a person, before you register a case. They have done neither. Leave alone that aside. What about 41A? You are supposed to give them notice under 41A. And if they had complied with the notice under 41A, the law says they shall not be arrested. You don't even give them an opportunity of 41A. The law of the Supreme Court is binding on one and all. It is binding on the police, it is binding on the courts, it is binding on lawyers, and so is it binding on the government of Maharashtra. And any such person in the government of Maharashtra who has taken the decision to subject him to arrest without compliance of 41A, face the music.
So, but Mr. Rizwan Merchant, now this deadlock will continue because, the state government doesn't seem like it's going to go back on its action or revoke any of these charges.
It is perfectly all right. It is their choice. You can't force them. You can't compel them. But then they should be ready to face necessary provisions.
So how many days will they remain in jail in that case?
The law is very clear that from the date of institution of the case, within 14 days, you're supposed to give them 41A. If their FIR was registered today, they had time to give the notice for 14 days under 41A. Where was the need to rush all the way to the house and drag them out in the police vehicle and bring them to the police station? And secondly, what about the complaint which has been made by Ravi Rana and Navneet Rana as against this 500, 700 people who had collected outside his house? Why is there no case registered against them? Because you sit in Mantralaya and you start pulling strings.
Sir, are you saying the charges are a big fraud?
The charges are a big fraud. It's a fraud which has been, it's an abuse of the process of law. It's an abuse of the process of court.
This is you're making very serious allegations, Mr. Merchant.
I will repeat it whenever required. I will repeat it whenever required. I don't back out on what I say.
Information that they will be produced in the court tomorrow. Will they be produced in the court tomorrow, the holiday court?
They have to be produced in court tomorrow because that is a constitutional mandate of production in 24 hours from the time of arrest. But they have made it very clear. They have given me standing instructions. Don't apply for our bail. We will
Don't
not
apply
take
for
bail.
bail.
We want it by way of a protest.
That is a breaking news update. Rizwan Merchant, thank you for speaking to Republic TV. The lawyer who will be representing Navneet Rana and Ravi Rana saying that they will not apply for bail. I repeat, saying they will not apply for bail and that they will continue to fight out the charges. And the lawyer very clear that they will put pressure on the government of Maharashtra to withdraw the charges. I think it was we'll play that entire reaction out. I'd like to get that, the entire conversation with Rizwan Merchant and